welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm drunk.
I'm Mizzy.
Gotta fix Mizzy's screen, of course, because it's always messing up on us.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Welcome to episode 263. Today's episode, we're going to talk about hobbying, how to make sure it stays a hobby, make sure it doesn't go too crazy. You know, all that good fun stuff. I don't know why this is causing so many problems. I blame John again.
And John blames you, so it's fine.
I'll take it right now.
Okay.
Okay. Don't know why. Well, I'll fix this later. But welcome to another episode. Let's thank all of our sponsors. We want to thank Muse on Minis. Make sure you go check them out, guys, and go get cool tokens, cool sets, cool things to play with. We have an affiliate link in every part of our world, so you can find it. We want to thank Parallel Barrel More Games for making Conquest and having some cool miniatures in there. Also, if you liked it, make sure you click the link and you can get 10% off your order. Let's see who's next. Turbo Dork. They're always awesome with their good metallic paint and turbo shifting paints. Make sure you check them out. We'll be giving away some gift certificates soon. And that we want to thank Midnight Heroes. Great maker of chibi miniatures and also a chibi miniature game, which will be at Warfare Weekend. Pix Price. I think they're going to be at ReaperCon, so you'll be seeing them there first if you go to that. We want to thank Creature Caster for supporting them, letting us paint cool miniatures and giving us some cool paints to do it with, which we will be using some of those today because we'll be working on my Boomhowler model and trying to get a little bit further on that. Did I miss anybody?
Don't think so. But don't put too much into my Military membership right now.
Because you're pretty drunk. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm okay now.
Okay, you're okay now. You
Yeah.
didn't have rice and meat?
No, just a kind bar and rest of that water. I'm doing okay.
Okay.
I figured I was okay when I lived through the stairs.
Hydrated with the H2Os.
Yep. Pace yourself. That's the point.
Facts.
So let's go ahead and get to the very important part because we were talking about drinking. What are you drinking today?
I'm going to drink some of this Jackson Morgan Southern Cream Southern Bread Pudding Liqueur.
Oh my gosh.
As you can tell, I've already started this earlier in the week. I mean, I saw
sounds
this.
Interesting.
Thought of my buddy Morton Joe and was like, because he loves bread pudding, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll buy it. Result, it's not very intense flavor. It's kind of like having like a Kahlua almost. Kind of like drinking Kahlua sort of straight. It's not quite the same flavor, but that sort of cream feeling, it's very drinkable. It's kids juice. It's fucking 30 proof. Who cares?
Kid juice.
I mean, it's kids juice. It's fucking 30 proof. 300 pounds of John does not care about 30 proof. I'm here to tell you. But no, I'll be drinking that. I was going to mix it with stuff, but I tried a little bit of a quasi-mudslide, and it was not better enough than drinking it straight for me to fucking bother. I mean, what are you guys drinking? I assume water, but hey, you might surprise me.
Hey, guess what? John's right.
Midnight Heroes, I like some of the Old Smoky Moonshine, but I can't drink it too much. It's an interesting flavor. Mostly the cherry one, but we had a bad experience, so I don't get the cherry one too often. The apple ones are a little too intense. There's other apple liqueurs I like better, but they're pretty good. Gonzo, are you drinking water too?
I'm also, of course, drinking water. I mean, I'm still trying to get all my stuff done.
You got the health stuff.
You got the health stuffs.
Lime and ginger beer for a mocktail. Yeah, no, I love ginger beer. Ginger beer is, and people look at me strange. Fucking, if you like ginger flavor and you're trying to make a thing, don't fucking get ginger ale. Get fucking ginger beer.
Ginger beer is too much for me. I'm a weakling. I will stick with my ginger ale.
I believe in you. You can handle it.
I don't like
also
the taste of ginger.
It's also I'm not a huge fan of his ginger, but ginger beer is just at that level. Like when you go to like the where they grill it in front of you, the Japanese grills they grill it in front of you, and they give you
Hibachi.
the salad with the ginger. Like that's generally a little much for me.
Oh yeah.
But ginger beer is fine. Especially if you're mixing something, if it calls for ginger ale or ginger beer, fucking mixing, use ginger beer. Trust me, way better.
Okay. Are there certain brands to avoid or to have preference when
So
it comes to ginger beer?
I buy Reed's ginger beer, and they have
Okay.
3 levels, which
Okay.
is regular, extra, and Jesus fucking Christ. I buy extra
Okay.
because I'm not sure I want Jesus fucking Christ, and regular was a little lighter. I mean, regular's fine though.
Okay.
Like if I were to drink ginger beer on the regular just by itself, I would buy the regular. Once in a while, the extra's good because it's just such a crisp taste. Like now, after drinking a bunch of ginger ale is just like too sweety for that flavor. It just doesn't work for me anymore. So Legionnaire says, try the Trader Joe ginger beer. Try all of them. Just try them. If you like ginger ale, try ginger beer at least so you can see. Especially if you're mixing it. Just give it a
So,
shot. If it's for
I
you,
tried-
go.
I tried the Fever Tree.
So
ginger beer.
Fever Tree is extra. They're like,
Okay. That might
Yeah.
be my problem.
take it down a notch. You're at 11, take it down to like 10 or 9.
Okay. All right. I can do that.
Like, good. If you like that flavor, Fever Tree does good stuff. But you probably need to take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
let me pour some of this. I'm drinking
All right.
it.
I'm willing to try it again.
You got to try everything twice. You might have been doing it wrong the first time.
Hey, that's why we ask friends.
Yes.
Guys, we appreciate everybody that's listening and watching, whether you join us live or you listen to us on any of our multitude of streams and sections. We are very happy that you're here. Make sure you take care of each other. Oh, wait, we do have a shout out this week.
Yeah, Alan Arkin.
Alan Arkin.
Indeed.
Oh, I find it amusing. He's been in so many movies, but I really, really only know him from one.
And I was going to say, it better be that too. Oh, yeah.
Could not
Rocketeer.
imagine.
I fucking love The Rocketeer. It's one of my favorite movies. Alan Arkin is great. He plays his role perfectly. I mean, granted, I think that movie is super duper underrated, but Alan Arkin's great in it. I've seen him in other things too here or there, but he's a great actor. He's one of those ones where you see him and he's going to be that role. He may not stand out to you because he fucking fades into that role perfectly.
Oh, yeah. I even actually watched that this weekend because
I wanted to, but I ran out of time.
yeah, it's super, super good. I'll give a quick recap whenever we go to the next section.
Let's be honest. It's the reason the director, Joe Johnston, got hired by Marvel to make Captain America the First Avenger. And it was the fucking perfect choice there, too.
Oh, yeah. So, but guys, like we were saying, make sure you take care of yourself. Look after each other. If you see something, say something. If you can do something, do something. If you can't, find somebody that will. Because
Yep.
a lot of fucking around going around right now.
You need to be helping them find
We'll
out.
Find out.
Yep. Cheers.
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 Oh, wait, hold on.
Barely chose alcohol comparatively.
Shit, fuck yeah, this water's
Smooth.
good.
Really? Really? Like, look,
So
when I'm
quenched.
hot and dry mouth, water is amazing. When I'm not, water exists.
I drink mostly water now. I have a Sprite once a week, but mostly it's water. That's all I've been drinking lately. Like a shit
You have
ton.
a liter of Sprite a week.
Well, to be fair, I had a medium-sized cherry Coke at the movie today. We'll talk about that later.
Oh
but-
yeah. But mostly it's water.
Yes, Legionnaires. It is way too damn hot outside.
Yeah, everybody really needs to take care of each other right now because there was somebody that dumped a dog out by one of our coffee shops around here, and it was a puppy. And it was just laying in the middle of the asphalt, black puppy. And I'm like, if I
Those
find out
bastards.
who you are, I will kick the shit out of you. Someone picked it up and,
Ah.
took care of it.
I'm not going to mince words. If I find out who you are, it is likely I will kill you.
I'm like, especially right now.
That,
I mean, we've got
fuck.
we've got a lot of hot weather going on right now, and there's nothing you can do. The only thing that'll save you is getting out of it.
There are shelters to drop animals at. Just take it to the shelter. It'll be taken care of. Fucking A.
Yeah. It was like a lab dog too, so I mean, like, damn, that'd have been a good dog.
Bastards.
But
Yeah, can't handle it. That's on my list of
Nope.
yes.
yeah,
List of want to find you to make you find out because you done fucked around.
Yeah.
You don't want to defer fucking around either because when you defer fucking around, the finding out is so much more.
But yeah, definitely if you're going to be out in the heat and you're working in the heat because you have to
Pace
gotta
yourself.
stay hydrated.
Drink water.
Yeah, it's
Like-
bad right now.
There's toxic masculinity has told us that we need to keep going, blah 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 blah. No, if you're fucking feeling it, stop, take a break, drink some water, find some shade. There's who cares if this guy's like, oh, you're not. Who cares? Fuck those guys. Take care of yourself. They ain't looking at you after your health. They're just trying to stand up to that fucking toxic
Bullshit.
masculinity bullshit. It is bullshit. So, take care of yourselves.
One more, and it'll be done for the rest of the thing. But let me go and switch over the camera. Make sure everything's... I figured that was going to happen. My battery ran out as we were on break. So, hold on, let me start it back over. But, while we're fixing the camera... John had a really cool topic, because he's always bringing up all these cool topics. You know, every time we, get on the air, he usually has like something that just happens quite quickly before the podcast.
Oh, it's rough. I don't know what to do with that. Man.
Did it come back? Nope. Let me refresh it.
And here it was. I was going to throw under the bus for coming in and not knowing what the fucking topic was. You asked me if I was okay to podcast, but there was no topic listed.
It was called Gonzo thought of it on the fly. There it goes. All right.
What? You're not
God.
planning all the way in advance? Look at my shocked face.
Yeah. I do not. Oh crap! Now the camera's messed up even more.
This time it's not my fault.
In that case, I'm going to show off my my action figure display. Look, I got comic characters. I got the Rocketeer in the back. I got Beta Ray Bill. I got the Thing. I got Wonder Man. I got U.S. Agent, and I got the Last Ronin.
I know who the Last Ronin is. I know.
My only problem is that two of these guys are, maybe even three of these guys are 7-inch scale. Like I think the Last Ronin is 7-inch scale. Rocketeer is definitely 7-inch scale. Beta Ray Bill 7-inch scale. The rest of these guys are 6-inch scale, so it makes the sizes very odd. Also, I think Wonder Man might be a little taller than he's supposed to be. I don't think he's supposed to be quite that tall, but it's okay. You can also kind of see Dritz and who I opened this week, but more on them later. Makes just some good stuff. But there's this week's cool display.
Noise.
Best figure in this, Last Ronin, super cost effective, lots of good stuff. And if you haven't read that one, it's a fucking great graphic novel. There you go. Gonzo, didn't vamp enough. We still got camera problems.
It's coming back. It's just taking its time.
No, not that I'm upset by the 7-inch figures, but eventually we're going to have a 7-inch display and a 6-inch display. Because, like, Beta Ray Bill is fucking huge compared to these guys, and he's not that tall. And the Rocketeer, who I grab again, I gave him a Tommy gun because it's appropriate, but it's a little small because it's a 6-inch scale Tommy gun, not a 7-inch scale. So
That's
it looks
still cool.
okay, but not as good as it could. I'm like, that's how I researched, and like, oh yeah, he's 7-inch scale, which is too bad. Because I wanted to display with him World War II Captain America and Indiana Jones, because that is a fucking cool display. All
Indeed.
World War II appropriate. Working on the Captain America.
Nice.
Rocketeer obfuscates it with the jetpack thing he's flying, so it looks it doesn't click in your brain that he's a different scale, as well as like Beta Ray Bill, who's fucking standing a head taller than the Thing, and you're like, what the fuck? Anyways,
So, topic. Um, Going after the past few weeks of doing, hobbying and putting together models and putting together a shit ton of models, it got me going like, am I having fun? And it became a chore putting together these models, which, that's something you have to do. But I was like, then someone was like doing the whole thing because we were talking about podcasting, and they were like, "Oh, how much money are you making?" And blah blah blah, and that whole thing.
You guys are making money.
Shit.
buying Gonzo's camera.
Buying
that's
podcast stuff.
That's never what it was for.
No, yeah, and that's the
We
thing.
only do that to cover, like, if my mic dies, I don't necessarily have the money right up to hand to buy a new one. It's to help cover expenses like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
If something breaks, we can send you money and get some new stuff and cover the hosting costs for all the.
Yeah, we still
stuff
want to
we do.
lose money on it. We don't want to make. Don't need to make money on it.
Right.
But that came up because eventually, burnout is a thing, whether we like it or not.
There we go.
And so we have to be careful of that. And, I know plenty of people that like start a podcast and then they try to do it and then
It's work.
then they stop because there's, work to it.
Yeah, like even at the level we do it, which is not super intense, there's still work to it.
Yeah. I still have to load everything up, get everything ready.
Well, you also don't realize the fact that, it affects how we schedule our time as well.
Yep.
That's part of the why, Menoth John retired is because he wanted his Sunday nights back. Can't blame him. Luckily, I don't watch football, so I don't care about that shit.
Don't care about no football.
Nope. So,
But that was the thing is how do we make sure because some people get really really popular off of their their channels and getting stuff. I get recognized. Captain Mizzy got recognized.
Which is still weird. Like, it's fine, but it's weird.
yeah, it was weird. A couple people recognized me. It was, surprising, but not uncool.
Yeah.
With the War Machine weekend, that one time I got to go, guys from other podcasts like, "Oh, hey John, how's it going?" And I'm like, "I only know you from podcasts, guys, but it's super cool." Oh, Mayacast? Yeah, that's too bad. I like Mayacast. They were good.
Oh,
Don't
were
really
they-
do much Infinity anymore, but
Did they say they're shutting down?
Xanderboard said they ended their run, but that's understand. Those guys have been doing it for a while.
Oh,
They
yeah,
they're
that
both
was-
really busy dudes. Do other things.
And that was the Infinity podcast to listen to.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the ones I listened to went away. There was the Krug that went away. Those were good dudes. They were very silly and fun, sort of like my people. But what happens? And that's the thing. That's sort of the topic is when does your hobby become a job? Let's go keep in the hobby in general. Ginny D, who does D&D stuff, people like Commander because they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you make money off this and you're acting like a kid." I'm like, who cares? Like, she's managed to turn something she loves, D&D and sort of cosplaying and all that stuff, into either a supplement or an actual job, and that's fucking great. There's a saying, if you work in what you love, you'll never truly work a day in your life, and that's great. That's what we should all be striving for, working in what we love. It's just not always possible.
Yes.
You look at all the people, the Dana Howells, the Duncan Rhodes, all those people who take that passion for something in the hobby and manage to turn it into actually a real job is great. But you have to realize it's become your job.
It is now a job, not a hobby, even though it can still be a hobby and, that you're, you doing stuff that you like to do, but it's going to take up a lot of time.
Yeah, and it's going to change the way you work on stuff. You know, look at the people who paint stuff for a living, the professional painters. They don't paint stuff as much for them anymore. They don't get to play the game as much as they want. I mean, Midnight Heroes is in chat, and he says the topic hits hard for him. Absolutely, he's taken his hobby and it's become a job, and it's tough. I don't know how you balance that so much. People who become professional painters and all that, professional DMs. How do you do that?
Right.
Because suddenly you go from just trying to make people have a good time to feeling like you have to make people have a good time. I don't know how you do that without fucking going nuts. Like I have a huge case of imposter syndrome. I don't want you to fucking feed that shit at all.
Yeah, because then you're getting paid for it, and it's
then you're like,
much more pressure.
Shit, yeah. I don't know how people do that. It's crazy, but you have to realize when it's become a job. And the reason I mentioned earlier that I wasn't going to talk about something until now is tournament players get to that point too. Not in the same way as someone who actually makes their profession, but when you stop playing the game for fun and you are just testing your tournament lists all the time, it's no longer a game. You have now made it serious. Not necessarily a job, but it's no longer a hobby. It's now more than that. And you have to be careful. People get fucking crazy about that.
What?
We had to talk, we had a group of people who did, a lot of competitive Warhammer fantasy. And I was part of the group, but I was never as serious as them. I had to calm them down a couple times because, let's be honest, you can take that shit too seriously.
No.
When you come into a game and you're just fucking rolling noobs with your tournament lists all the time, you may have taken the game too seriously. And it's hard to see sometimes. Don't feel bad that you can't see it yourself because you don't have the exploded boo. You're in there. It just sort of naturally evolved to that level for you. But that's when you got to listen to your friends and go, hey, you're taking this too seriously. And then hopefully you can back it off a little bit then. You gotta trust your friends in that. You gotta take a look at yourself when they bring it up and go, oh my God, am I taking this too seriously? Am I no longer playing for fun at all? It's tough.
Yeah, and it also kind of cracks me up when people are like, what? You don't make money from this? Why do you do it?
That's the societal problem. That is, and I'm going to get a little, how should I put it? Fucking real in here. That is the fucking capitalists in charge of society trying to force us to feel like we need to do more to fucking live. Well, you got to turn your fucking passion into a side hustle. No, you don't. You should work your job and be able to survive. Boom. Side hustle, no. If you want a side hustle, that should be an option. I want to go further. I will do a side hustle. But you should not have to or feel like you have to turn your hobby into a fucking job. That's what we get paid for our quote-unquote 9-to-5 fucking job. When someone wants it to be more than 9 to 5, you fucking get paid for that.
It's also why I'm super picky on what I do as far as extra graphic design work.
Exactly. That's the way you should be. You have the power. You should be able to do your 9 to 5 job and survive. And even thrive. And after that, anything you do beyond that should be your choice. Oh, I want to do an extra job for this company. It's going to give me something I want, and I'm going to help people I like. That should be your option. Shouldn't be like, oh God, I have to work 3 jobs just to fucking survive. You should work 3 jobs because I have a goal, and these are going to help me reach that goal. The goal should not be fucking survival. And it is literally those fucking, and I hate to throw everyone, I hate to generalize into people, but it's those fucking, higher ups, those capitalist, rich fucking people who want you to feel that way because then you're motivated to do more at all of your jobs. And really, it's not fucking true. They don't realize the more we split our energies, our work energies, you only have so much work energy in you. Everyone only has so many spoons. Work spoons. Some people are blessed to be able to have work spoons and spoons for their hobby. And some of us are like that. It's cool. They don't realize the more we split that, like if I go home and my hobby's a job, that's work spoons that are coming out of me. I mean, the real reason I stopped streaming video games during the week is because my work took too much out of me. And sure, streaming for you guys was fun, but it was still have to do this. Feel like I have to. I feel like I have an obligation. That's part of my problem, but that's why I stopped, because I didn't feel like I could get that point. I couldn't give you guys one. I was going to be cranky and not what you guys deserve. And that is what they want. So don't feel like you have to go above and beyond your hobby. If you want it to be a hobby, just be a hobby. You know, if you're a good painter and you don't want to paint professionally, don't paint professionally. If you want to do it here and there, do it here and there. Don't ever feel like you have to take your hobby and make money for you, because then I guarantee you it won't be a hobby anymore.
Nope.
And then you suddenly, I don't want to play it. I don't want to do it except for that. I've met a lot of people who started painting models for people and they just don't want to paint their own models anymore. And it's sad because they're losing that passion, losing that fun. Yeah, exactly. Just the reason I don't let people know. Some people will be like, oh, hey, can you paint this thing for me? Yeah, once or twice is fine, but if it gets too much. And this is all internal stuff. You have to find out where your level is internally for that. You can't let anyone else tell you. There's just like fucking adulthood in general. There's no roadmap for this shit.
What?
You just come in and feel it out and like, I hope I'm doing okay. Because no one else's experiences are going to equate to your experiences.
There was a manual, life would be boring.
Could use a little of that boring real life stuff. That way I could have more fun for my hobbies. But,
Well, it was like what somebody said. I'm not jealous of people that are rich. I'm jealous of the freedom they have to pursue their passions.
Exactly.
And it kind of hit me. And I was like, yeah, because I mean, if I would paint more if I didn't have a job, or I would go.
Current event wise, you see that disconnect between the average person and rich people in, I hate to say it, the memes and jokes that came out of the Titan submarine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's call it a tragedy. It's a tragedy. I don't wish death on people just for being rich, but you realize we don't care like that. There was fucking another ship sinking in the fucking ocean at the same time with fucking 500 people involved, and all the news just about the rich people.
Yep.
You then get the disconnect, and part of it is because of that, because they tell us hard work will get you where we are. No, it fucking won't. You were born with a fucking silver spoon up your ass. Even Elon Musk likes to say, like, hard work. No, fuck you. You parents are fucking diamond miners in fucking South Africa, bitch. You were born into fucking money. And that's the biggest fallacy, is that hard work will get you rich. It fucking will not. And they pulled the wool over some. You know what? I need to stop because I'm going into political stuff. Back to the gaming part. Jesus Christ. I should probably stop drinking.
I was
Let me
waiting.
drink some water. Someone else take over for a second. I'm getting out there.
No, but I mean, it really does come down to, whether you want to do it for fun. Do you want to keep on doing it? When it starts becoming the dread of doing it, that's when you need to stop and think.
Yep. Absolutely.
I've seen that quite a bit. Someone's like, oh man, I got to get on and stream. I'm like, are you not having fun? And they're like, exactly. But that's the way I get money. And I'm like, okay.
It can't just be that. If it becomes just that, you either has to be your day job. I know some streamers who that is their only job. Yep. More power to you, dude. I am not jealous of you. I am happy for you and do what I can to support you.
Yes.
But if you're not like me, I'm like, oh God, I told Gonzo, I'm not sure I'll be on in time, and you're like, don't worry about it, dude.
No,
But here I am stuck in traffic, and I'm worrying about it. And that's when you realize maybe it's not the right thing.
Okay, I'm gonna quick sponsor break. I'm not doing it just because they're a sponsor, but the Cuttlefish's Merlin's Magic Medium that they have, their medium, is fucking great.
Okay.
I really like this shit. It is really, really good. But it also
I need to.
has
My goal was to start painting again yesterday, but that shit didn't happen. Didn't happen today either. I had naps instead, and I don't regret it because those naps were great. I had a nap so big on Friday when I got home from work. I woke up and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I get up and I'm like, why is my computer making light? It shouldn't be making light. It's the middle of the night. Then I get to the bathroom. I'm like, wait a minute. And I ask my Amazon Echo what time it is. And it's like, it's 8 p.m. And I'm like, oh, it's not fucking Saturday morning. It's still Friday. Jesus Christ. I napped so hard, I forgot what day and time it was.
Oh, I've been there.
Oof. It was. I a little regret that nap, Legion. It was a little excessive. Like, oh, shit. Here was, I thought it was still, it was Saturday morning, it's still Friday night.
So you thought that you took a sleep and not a nap?
Yes. Still going. Yeah, sometimes it happens like that. And that's another thing. If you feel so much like you have to do your hobbies that you can't go, I'm exhausted and need to take a nap, that's another warning sign that you need to reevaluate what you're doing. If you're exhausted, you should sleep.
Yeah.
That happens for a reason. Yes. The reason is you're tired, you're not getting no sleep. Because, man, we don't. I mean, like, I get 5 hours of sleep a night. Let's be honest. Maybe 6 some days. So extra sleep is good. Your body will tell you. If you do not listen to your body when it gives you the warning signs of time to sleep, it will make sleep time for you, and it may not be okay. Because it doesn't care what else you're doing at the time. If it's sleep time, it's sleep time.
Yup. In there.
You'd rather not pass out, like, at work. Yeah, but people pass out at work because they're having a tough time. I give them all the leeway I can. You know?
When I was working my second job, I would take naps in my car for my lunch.
Yep. It's a warning sign. Like, sure, once in a while, like, I had a shitty night. Boom. Sometimes you have a shitty night, you need to take a nap in the car. Cool. But if you have to do it every day, you need to stop and look. Self-care is important.
I was about to say the same thing, John, when I read Midnight Heroes.
Yeah.
You gotta take care of yourself.
I need to work on my printers. Like, I need to got one down, tired, to screw it, and I'm drawing and listening to you. If you feel guilty not work tomorrow, don't feel guilty. You need that self-time. If you don't take that self-time, everything's going to collapse. Do you know why people have, like, breakdowns? Now, there's no scientific, but I'm pretty sure people have nervous breakdowns because they're not taking the self-time. I have not heard of a lot of nerds in our people getting those breakdowns that normal people have because we know sometimes it's time to stop. I need to stop and do the thing. What's the thing? I don't care. Paint some models, play some video games, watch a movie, turn your brain off, whatever it is. If you need to do it, do it. Yes, Amber, like a few days I fell asleep while eating. If you fall asleep while eating, just go to bed. Just go to bed. Yep. It's time.
I've never done that.
Like, sometimes I'm downstairs and I'm watching a video on YouTube and I'm like nodding. I'm like, I actually don't care about this video. I turn it off and go upstairs and either I'll wake up doing something I care about or I will fucking lie down and just chill. It doesn't have to be full sleep. You can just lie down and just chill.
Even
close your eyes.
Even if you don't take a full nap, like if you just have to lay there in the dark, that's fine. That counts.
Yep.
And this is our unprofessional opinion on getting rest.
It's unprofessional, but Jesus Christ, it's not like you and I are young, Gonzo.
No.
A lot of experience.
It's unprofessional, but I pay for therapy, and this is what my therapist tells me.
There you go.
So, do with that what you will.
But Bania, it wasn't a mistake. You woke up, you came upstairs, you're like, I got good sleep, I feel good. That means it wasn't a fucking mistake. A good night's sleep, a good nap, all that stuff re-energizes you to go on with life, because life can be tough. Everyone doesn't realize the stuff that goes on, We can say, oh, we're nerds, we don't care about that stuff. But deep in the back of your mind, you are worried about the war in Ukraine, the fact that certain things are going crazy. The Supreme Court's making fucking very weird rulings, let's say it, being nice. That stuff does bother you to the littlest bit. It's subconscious maybe, but it bothers you. And sleep helps you recharge so you have the mental fortitude to keep doing that. I know sometimes I get cranky when I don't have enough sleep. John gets cranky. What? And sometimes sleep will help that. You have to do that. Self-care is the most important fucking thing. I mean, true, Xander. So we do suppress things as just well as normies, but we have more outlets.
Yes.
We can go home, turn on fucking Halo on easy mode, and murder a bunch of aliens and feel a lot better about life. We can put on Wolfenstein and shoot all the fucking Nazis we want and feel a lot better about life. I'm going to ignore you, Bania, and I hope that should go away. Overwatch works if it makes you. Let's not forget, like, these hobbies at their core are about just fun and enjoying yourself and decompressing. Bowie last week when we were doing the Cosmic Encounter, I was getting a little rough, and he's like, "Do you want to stop?" I'm like, "No, man, I know when to stop. I'm doing this for you in this case." But it's not like I'm fucking hating it. It's just frustrating at points. And part of that is the fact that I've not had good work. Things have been crazy. You have to recognize about yourself and do what you can. Sometimes you do. I call myself an emotional support human because I'm always here if any of my friends or anyone needs to talk about things. I'm here. I'll listen. But it doesn't necessarily mean I don't have it myself. It just means that I'm willing to listen to everyone else and help them decompress because I understand. Trust me, I understand. I was running a fucking gaming store in my 20s, and it was stressful. And my friends took me aside and told me, "John, we hate what you're becoming. You're cranky and this and this." And it was a good wake-up call to help calm things down. And sometimes you need that. But sometimes you just need someone to listen to, I just needed my friends to tell me, and then I'd chill and not do as many crazy things. It was a good start to all that. But that's part of that self-care, You work too hard, you push yourself too hard, it's going to get like that, and you have to know when that happens.
Sorry, I'm mixing some paint. If I'm not painting.
I mean, it looks like you're kind of painting.
Well,
all I see is your fucking arm.
Yeah.
Basically.
I needed to make some new purple.
You need to work on that complexion a little bit, son. Get some fucking sun on that.
No, I want Gondor to see me when I walk outside.
You're not even close to that. Not even close.
Yes, Sander, that's a thing.
What was that?
It is a thing, but
Support people.
Oh yeah.
Are usually people who need greater support without asking for it.
Yep.
As someone who hates asking for help, yes, that's a thing. But I'm getting better at it.
In our defense, helping other people refills us a bit too.
It does, yeah.
Someone comes and asks for help and you're able to help them a little bit, you get refilled. You feel a sense of competence. That's why I'm in customer service, for fuck's sake. Someone comes in, I have a huge problem, I help them, like, "Oh, great, thank you so much." They're super happy. That refills me.
You have a sense
that
of
keeps
purpose.
me going.
I'm useful.
Exactly. People like to be useful, helpful. I have leveraged these skills I've gained to make someone's life better. What's wrong with that? Part of what we do here. We have the willingness to come on, show our faces, and talk to people. Maybe we help make your lives better. Maybe we help you deal with what's going on in your life. Maybe you just enjoy listening to us and it helps you decompress a little bit. If so, awesome. You know?
Indeed.
It keeps us going.
Oh yeah, I always look forward to my Sunday thing. 'Cause I get to paint a little bit, and I get to hear John rant.
We do love our John rants. It's glorious.
Got another one coming. Don't worry about it. I'm loading that one right now. Girls know where she wants to go. Look, I had to stop that last one. The last one got a little far afield, but not necessarily saying it was wrong, just not necessarily the place for it. But back to the, when your hobby becomes a job, just try and realize it. It's hard. And I'll say this with everything. Self-awareness is difficult for human beings, but is a great skill if you can have it. Because then you can realize yourself, oh shit's getting out of control. I need to fucking reel myself in. There's nothing like it. Can't always have your friends there, unfortunately. Sometimes just having a little bit of that understanding yourself will be great. So, try and do that. Try and take a step back. Try and decompress sometimes. You can't go hard. Like, even if you're the best 40K player in the world, take a step back. Enjoy some games, playing some silly stuff. It'll give you an appreciation for the game. But not everyone's for that. But it will help you a little bit see a different side of the game. You might learn something to help you otherwise, or you might just have a good time. We can't let our hobbies become so serious that there's no room for the fun and the wonder anymore. I even find myself getting there sometimes. You play so few games sometimes you really want to win. We all want to win. But I'm getting back to the point where I want to have a good time more, I want my stuff to do stuff, and if it win on top of that, it's great. Yes, Xander Warlord, you cannot learn anything if you win all the time. Losses really teach us. But you have to be willing to let the loss teach you. We're in a situation in the world where companies don't understand that failure is a fucking option. It's binary. Succeed or fail. Failure is always a fucking option. Didn't the Mythbusters teach us that? If you didn't learn that from Mythbusters, go back, because failure is always an option. They can be like, oh, we need to succeed. You can't succeed at everything. No one can succeed all the time, because then you don't learn. You keep doing the same stuff. And I've learned this myself, if you bolster everyone who is going to fail, they don't always learn how to succeed. So while you're helping maybe the company, you're not helping that person. And sometimes helping the person is better for the company. They don't look at the long game like they should be. We should all be looking at the long game. Fucking chess teaches us a lot of things. I don't like chess. But chess teaches us a lot of things about the long game. You can turn early defeats, if you will, into long-term successes. And we need to learn that as a people, in your companies, in every life. Sometimes you have to learn that shit. It's like going, I'm not going to do this thing. Let's say, I'm not going to go to Warfare Weekend because I can't really afford it right now, but that'll propel me into doing better. Maybe I get to go other times because I've gotten shit in order. It's a personal experience thing. You have to learn that. You don't want to fail. No one wants to fail, but sometimes that is what you need to learn and to grow. Like, I remember some successes, but I remember failures way more. And part of that is my fucking, imposter syndrome. But part of it is also just, that's how you learn. So Midnight Hero says, to give an example, our last Kickstarter was a failure, but we learned from it. Yes, it's okay to fail. Just learn from it and do better in the future. Look, and learn from other people's failure. That's wisdom. Wisdom is learning from other people's failures. look at, and I'll use the example we always use for Kickstarter failure, and that is Ninja Division, their second Kickstarter for Relic Knights. Like, failed. They're not going to deliver it. Ever. Everyone else, they're not going to learn from that because they had a hard time. We know they had a hard time. There's videos like fucking no one deserves what they went through. But everyone else needs to learn that. Between their first and their second, you can learn so much, just a Kickstarter idea, from what they did. If I look at a lot of modern Kickstarters, they're doing well. Look at Catalyst Games Battletech. Their first one did well. Their second one did amazing, but they learned from all the other Kickstarters not to do too much. If you do too much, then stores don't pick up your product. You know, everyone was hoping from the Battletech one that they would like give so many more free boxes. Like, well, yeah, that'd be great, but they have to balance the fact that we are the biggest guys. They still want us to go to the stores and buy stuff to keep the stuff going. They want to give you a good deal, want to make it worth it, but they also balance that with not making it impossible to sell anything to you. Like when Relic Knights came out, the first one, like, I got everything I fucking needed. I did not need to buy anything. Like, literally, it was way too long before anything came out that I needed to buy. And that's a mistake. Because now the store's not getting the money, you're not growing it. There's a lot of things to that. But it takes a lot of thinking and a lot of self-awareness to understand that you failed and to not do it again. Because by all intents and purposes, they made a lot of money. It was good, but they didn't necessarily see their failures. Arthur Michael Lavoie says, a major concept in game design is to fail, but to fail faster. Yes. Failing fast so you can fix it and make it better the next time is important. You know, and it happens for everything. I mean, let's look at my other hobby, toys and stuff. Hasbro has their own internal Kickstarter called HasLab, where they kickstart stuff, basically. They've had a lot of failures that they're learning from, learning that maybe the value they put on something may not be the actual value we put on it. Maybe learning that certain stretch goals are too aggressive. It's a learning process because this is all new. Minnie Harris says, and to find out what people want, that's how we fail. We fund it, but the customer base apparently did not want Undead Chibi. There you go. That's important note. You can't know that beforehand. Like, you can say, oh, we'll make a poll. That doesn't mean anything. Having the Kickstarter barely fund and see that people didn't like the extra thing you were offering, that's useful information. That's self-awareness. It's hard to do. Glad you did it, though. Ford Fitch says, I hope Relic Knights makes another comeback and Division can make it viable again. I have a ton myself and love the game. Yes, the original game was really solid. The updated version looks really good, but they're not gonna. They just don't have the money. I hate to say it, they just don't have the money. Like when they said, oh, we can send the stuff we've made to you if you buy something on their website, so we're bundling shipping, I immediately knew then they're done. Ain't gonna happen. Because sure, I could get whatever they have available. I'm just not going to buy something on their website to get what they already fucking owe me. That's not okay. And sure, you might be like, oh, I'm spending money to get back some of my money. But I'm not going to play the game because Dave's not going to do it. No one else is going to do it locally. So why am I going to bother? At this point, I file under a loss. There we go. I mean, look at it. Mini Masterworks. I feel bad that we fucking promoted them and they just fucking disappeared. Yep. But you know, all you can do with those things is learn, okay, file under a loss, go on with your life. Does it stop me from using Kickstarter? No. Does it make me look a little harder? Sure. That's just wisdom. Just learning from my own mistakes. You know, see what goes on. You know, it happens. It can happen with anyone. I like the statement to say what the fuck happened. Life imploded. Shit, man. You can put a life out. People will understand. And that's the thing. If you're having a tough time, personally, as a business, whatever, tell people. People understand life is a fucking motherfucker sometimes. It'll come in, knock you down, and just kick you relentlessly.
Oh dear
That's
God, yes.
that's just how life is, unfortunately. And we understand. My money is not more important than your fucking existence. If you're like, oh God, shit went crazy, we can't afford to do this, it's okay. I understand. You know? I don't put the money into Kickstarter without the full understanding that shit might go sideways. It's okay. But tell us, you know? Maybe we can help you. Maybe we all just go. Sure, some people aren't going to be that way. Not everyone's as forgiving as I am necessarily. And, you know, it is what it is. Some people, their money is so tight that it's more important to them than understanding for other people. But I can't be that way. Yes, and a lot of people don't understand how when stuff goes in production, shit can go sideways. You're going into production in China. One thing goes wrong in China. It's a different country. It's not a capitalist country. It's a fucking communist country. They can immediately, shit can just go sideways there. It is what it is. You have to understand that stuff. And you have to be, and we're getting a little far afield again, but you have to understand people and what's going on in the world. You can't just be super harsh on people just because shit didn't go the way you wanted it to. Again, that is just life. You know? Like, I understand Ninja Division had a fucking terrible time. It's okay. I'm not going to hold it against him. If I see John Kadishi, who I know personally, we used to work Games Workshop together, I'm not going to be upset at him. Shit went sideways. It ain't his fault. He didn't aim for that shit. It's not like he said, let's fuck people by having shit go sideways for us. No one does that. They would rather deliver their shit on time, you know, and everything. But it didn't happen. You can't take it personally, you know? You have to be able to disconnect that shit. Someone else talk. I need a drink.
I know we kind of went off a little topic of that, but I mean, it also comes into the fact that I know a lot of people that do Kickstarters because they're hobby. And they're like, oh, I can turn this into a moneymaker. And then they find out that it's a fucking job. And then it becomes a problem.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
I know people that have done Kickstarters that are like, oh, this will make so much money on Kickstarter. And then they try to do it. And they're like, oh, shit, this is more work than I thought.
Yep.
What do you mean I got to balance my models?
Hey, look at this thing. Making a company and making money is fucking work. Who knew? There's no such thing as free money. There's always work to it. You gotta be ready for it. I mean, I love Kickstarter as a concept. I'm even past the point where I get too upset that companies that should be in better shape Kickstarter everything, because I sort of realize the reality is that they're giving so much stuff away with their Kickstarter that they're not building the way I think they should have. You know, as Fort Fitch says, I wish more people would see it as it is, not what they think it is. You know, part of my problem with Kickstarter was I see it as I think it is, but it's not. What they're doing is they're making those margins so small that sure they're delivering this stuff. Look at Catalyst Games Live BattleTech. It's a good one because it's the most recent big in. You know, they gave away a ton of stuff, so they're not like they're building up and they're making millions of dollars for them to bank to make their own way of printing models. No, they're making what they need to for whatever goals they had, and they're gonna have to Kickstarter the next one because it's the way it is. It's now become the business model. But I like that now that we know that and people are explaining that a little bit, we can understand that how they're doing stuff. Yeah, sometimes you take a loss. You know, Minister says, yeah, if you do a Kickstarter to make money, you will fail. You would try and make even at best. Yeah. You know, we all thought like, oh, this is a big company. They should be able to produce their own models anymore. No, it's not that world anymore. I'm still impressed with the companies that made it through COVID. Let's be honest, COVID was a motherfucker for companies. Sure, GW posted record highs, but they were already ingrained. They got in and got their infrastructure way back in the day. I remember back in the day. I worked there. Yeah, here's it. COVID sucked. It hurt because you weren't playing as much, And if you weren't a big name, people weren't necessarily buying your models. People don't buy Midnight Heroes during COVID because they're not thinking about it. They're buying their GW stuff. They're buying their Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. They're buying their big company stuff. They're not thinking of the little guy, and we should. We should have. That's a failure on us as hobbyists. That actually, honestly, we had a perfect time to buy some chibi models and paint them, because COVID was the first time in a long time I painted models just to paint them. It won't be the last time. Working on that. Well, any closing thoughts? Because we're getting close to media section, and I'm getting close to super inebriated.
You're not already?
No, I'm drinking kids' juice. It's fucking 15 proof. I had a fucking Kind bar. I'm fine.
Yeah, but I mean, one of the things that, like I said, one, if you're not having fun anymore, no longer a hobby.
No longer a hobby.
If you're
or it's a hobby, but it's not one for you anymore.
Yeah. And if you're trying to look at to make a side hustle, and you can do it and still have fun, more power to you.
Perfect. That
I applaud you.
That's the goal. Side hustle and still have fun. Mwah. Perfect. But if it comes to choosing between them, you got to make that choice. And be aware you're making that choice.
Yep. I got some good, decent work on that.
Yeah. It's coming along.
Good. This was the finish the block color, start the highlighting, get some going.
I mean, honestly, it's already at tabletop.
Oh, yeah. I could lay that down and it would be perfect. But I want to do a little bit of highlighting on the leather and the wood. And then I want to work on the octopus a little bit more. But she could play and be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to do it purple or I would have gotten beat up.
You didn't have to.
Yeah. She's not going to beat you up for painting up what you want.
I got my own damn model to paint. You do what you want.
No, I was like, my pirates are going to be purple. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's a choice. And that's a quick one I'm going to tell you. Hey, guys. Don't let anyone tell you what you have to paint your models. You paint your models how you like.
Oh, yeah.
If someone who's not you doesn't like them, tell them to go fuck themselves.
Space Marines are either going to be purple or neon lime green.
Awesome. And if you're too much of a civil person to tell them to go fuck themselves, you tell me. I'll go tell them to go fuck themselves.
John always speaks the truth.
It's what you... That's my biggest thing. You painted it wrong. Fuck no, you didn't paint it wrong. Paint it how you want. Like, I see people who paint stuff, and it may not be what I consider a great standard, but they're super happy, and I'm happy that they're happy with their models. It's great. If they ask for advice, I can give them advice. My buddy, the Jason, always has the best thing. I hand him a model. He's like, do you want a critique, or do you just want an opinion? That's a great way to look at it. Critique will be like, hey, you could do this, this, and this. Cool. Opinion is like, I like this. Maybe this color is different, blah, blah, blah. I make an effort on Twitter every time someone puts a paint scheme up there, like, hey, what do you think of this? Do you like this or this? I always stop and make those and respond to those posts. Because, people asking for opinions. It's great. You can change the media section whenever you're ready, Gonzo.
Just letting you finish.
Hit the button, Gonzo.
You can cut me off. It's okay. Rumor has I've been talking a lot tonight.
That's all right. But I mean, it really hit hard on somebody that I know in the industry that was like, man, this is, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are you having fun still?
If no, rethink your life.
Rethink.
I mean, it's hard. But sometimes you have to.
Media section. I don't have a whole lot. 1,
Lies.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So
you still have the
lied
most.
to us. Yeah, I would actually take a bet that you have as much as Mizzy and I combined.
I think I've got 2.
Yep, more. I also have 2. But I think one of them we're going to talk about together.
Yeah.
No, 3. I have 3 I could talk about.
Aha, 3. She's defeated me. I'm defeated.
Barely. But that's only because I watched Star Trek.
It was a fucked up week. I'm not gonna lie. I got home and there was not a lot of video going on. It was crazy. Not like the worst week I've had, but just fucking weird.
Two of the things I did finish the Griffin series. That was on Prime, and
Yeah,
I thought it
sure.
was pretty good. It was pretty decent. It wasn't bad. I would say like a 1.5, pushing 2, but not near it. But it was entertaining. I'm like, they're getting renewed for a new season. Ching, cool. I'm like,
I'd agree
all for
with
it.
that. Yeah.
I'm like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
The soundtrack.
Soundtrack was really good.
On
The
point.
soundtrack was a lot of late 80s, early 90s grunge, heavy metal type
More
stuff.
importantly, was it the right song at the right moment?
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Yes.
that's more important.
Yes.
That's James Gunn does that. Right song, right moment to hit you.
Yeah. No, it was good. They did really good with the soundtrack on this one.
Good.
But I mean, it was there. But we'll wait for the next season. The one thing I did watch that I wanted to bring up was Skull Island, new animated series on Netflix. 30-minute show.
Is it Kong?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is King Kong. Yeah, it has a King Kong in it. It's a new story.
I've
About-
never even heard of it.
Yeah,
So-
I didn't either.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, I was
When
like,
you make it and I don't hear about it, and I'm kind of, like kaiju stuff.
yeah.
It's just in.
But I mean, it's about people getting trapped on Skull Island and having, being the, people there that are learning about it, and they find out about Kong and other kaiju type monsters on the island. It's a cartoon, 30 minutes. It's quick, it's easy. It's geared a little bit more towards kids.
So it's kind of like Pacific Rim: The Black, where it was geared a little more towards kids, kind of YA-ish.
I'd say a little bit younger than YA-ish, but yeah,
Okay.
it was there. Nothing bad.
But
It's just there.
YA sometimes, like I don't do a lot of YA anymore.
So it was just like, it was all right. If you like Kong stuff, you'll like this because it's just a little bit of fun. Nothing huge, nothing crazy.
How many episodes?
Like 8 or 10, I think.
How long? Sorry.
30 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. That's great eating dinner fare.
Oh yeah. You could sit and watch this. It kind of reminded me of watching like Avatar, not episodic, but not kiddified where it's dumbed down or whatever. So.
Okay.
But if you like Kong stuff, yeah, you might like it. And like it's an easy chunk because 30 minutes you can watch that. No time.
Yeah.
So overall, the series I give it about 2. It was entertaining enough. So, Mizzy, you're next since you have the next highest total.
Let's go with my most recent one. I watched 2 episodes of The Witcher today.
That was one of mine, so we can talk about that together.
Yeah,
I'm on episode 3.
I'm enjoying it so far. I don't have any grievances with it.
Night Midnight Heroes. I don't either. I don't have any issues with it. Everything seems to be fine. I don't mean this is the last season for Henry Cavill.
Yep. They're gonna replace him with
Liam Hemsworth.
one of the
Liam
Hemsworths. One of the not big Hemsworths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which they claimed that it's going to be a seamless transition. We'll see. Also, we found out from TikTok that Rory the Frenchie did in fact meet Henry Cavill. That's exciting news for that little Frenchie.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching it too. I'm not having a problem with it, and it's not hard to follow. Everything's going okay.
So it's
great
told in
fight scenes.
chronological order.
Yeah, this is This
Yes.
One.
Yeah.
Fuck you in the heart.
Season
literally.
1 was a mind fuck for me.
That's what killed me on season 1. I haven't finished it yet because that whole thing, I was like, fuck off.
It doesn't do it for season 2, and so far for season 3. So
Yeah.
there's hope.
But I mean, I'm not having a problem with it so far. I know it's getting chewed up by a lot of people because they're upset that Henry Cavill's last season, and 2, just some people are douches. But I'm not having.
Don't be upset with Henry Cavill. Be upset that the showrunners and the IP owner don't care about it being true to the IP.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill actually cares about the IP and it being true to the IP. The IP owner just wants to fucking make money, and that's fine. The showrunners just want to tell the stories I'm going to tell, so Henry Cavill's going to leave. That's the adult way out. Hey, I don't agree with what you're doing with this. I'm going to leave. It's adult. It's okay. You go on to bigger, better things, because Henry Cavill's awesome.
He's one of us. He's a nerd.
Well, we had to talk about him on Saturday and how he was, despite the fact that the scripts he was dealing with were not great, he was a great Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Every problem I could see is not a Henry Cavill problem. It's script and director problem.
Yep.
I mean, it's DC. That's pretty much on par.
Yeah.
I can't speak on that. I don't like watching Superman. I'll take your word for it.
Have you ever seen the original Superman, Gazzy?
No.
Christopher Reeves. You should see it. You should see it.
Gonzo, fix that.
He plays
Yes,
the Boy
Gonzo,
Scout
fix
really
that.
well.
No, but it's Christopher Reeve's so good at it too.
Yeah.
Like Henry Cavill's great. Christopher Reeve has a couple moments where it's just like Trek and Transcendent. There's a scene in the first one where he's as Clark Kent and he's talking to Lois, and he's going to tell her. You can tell he's going to tell her that he's Superman. He takes off his glasses and suddenly he's Superman. Just changes everything, every demeanor.
Okay.
And then he realizes he's not going to put his glasses on. It's good. It's not like a modern superhero movie. It's a much different type of movie, but it's fucking great. I saw it in the theater when they had the anniversary.
Yeah, there was a change in posture, eyes, his
acting.
face.
It's
Yeah.
acting.
He was like,
It's great.
"Hi, I'm the shy little thing." And he takes his glasses off. He's like,
And the first two are great for being superhero movies from a different time. They're the proto superhero movies. They really are. They're the first two real superhero movies. It's like watching Keaton's Batman and going, "This is a proto superhero movie. I can see all the elements they use later and how they change them."
Okay.
Anyways,
John,
what do you give The Witcher so far?
Oh.
Just idea.
it's okay. Like 1.5 maybe. I mean, it's just there. It's still good. It's still fun. The fight
More
scenes are
good
fucking
missing.
incredible.
Fight scenes. Love the fight scenes.
That's because he cares, and that it shows through in the fight scenes. Like I have no complaints with the quality of The Witcher. It's just the fucking out of order thing killed me in season 1. I'm like, fuck you all.
It's not just his fight scenes either, but I can't get into that.
Fair enough. So, Gonzo, we're going to talk about Secret Invasion.
Yeah, let's talk about Secret Invasion. I'm on episode 2.
I have not watched episode 2 yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm gonna.
I'm kind of bored with it.
I kind of feel like... So here's the first thing to say. Samuel L. Jackson and... What's his name? My brain stopped because I'm drunk. The other main character. Talos.
Yeah.
From Captain Marvel.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Mendelsohn. Is that his name? Mendelsohn. Ben Mendelsohn, something like that. Mendelsohn, I don't know. Ben Mendelsohn, something like that. I'm gonna
Don't you have
to
Google's?
I am IMDbing it now.
Yeah, exactly. IMDb it.
I'm not on my A game. Let's be honest. Ben Mendelsohn, absolutely. Like they're both doing a great job. No complaints with their acting. It's just they're doing a similar story to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but they don't. Even after the first episode, you have no empathy for the fucking antagonists.
No, you don't.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, you had empathy for them. Like, oh god, that's terrible. I understand, and you should have empathy for them, but they took it went straight fucking terrorism. No, like empathy. It's like also. I hate to say it. It kind of shits on the ending of Captain Marvel. Because Captain Marvel, they go off in like the fucking, when was it? The 90s or 80s or whatever fucking time it was. To go find Skrulls a homeworld, and they don't. All that time, and they fucking just don't find a homeworld for them. A world for them. And now they're coming in, they're trying to tell a Skrull story, and it kind of shits on what they did in that movie because it was so good. You think the Skrulls are the bad guys, and they're not. It's great. And then they fucking shit on it. Xenophobia, yeah, I agree. Marvel, not entirely, has kind of lost its way. They're trying to tell iconic stories that they don't have the proper setup for. And it's crazy to say that with someone who took so long to get to Infinity War and Endgame. but they're not having the proper setup for a story like this.
No, it's very haphazardly thrown in.
Yeah, and I feel like I might give it a shot just because Mendelsohn and Samuel Jackson are just fucking great in it. Absolutely great.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to watch it.
But I
So
don't
it's only
have
6
high
episodes.
hopes.
No.
Right now, if you forced me to give me a rating, I'd give it a 2.5. It's a perfect meh. The bad balances out the good to be meh. Like, I like that you see all these people, but I don't like where they're going. I don't think the story they're telling works as well as they want it to.
No. It kind of feels just kind of thrown together.
Yeah.
Like,
You
let's
know?
give him his own
Like,
limited series.
And the thing is because Samuel Jackson, for all of his strengths, Nick Fury was never a main character of this.
No.
Never. The Falcon was set up to be that way. And honestly, at this point in his life, I feel like Anthony Mackie has more of the appropriate type of charisma to lead a series than Samuel Jackson. Though I like the idea of what's with Samuel Jackson, I just feel like there should have been some middle ground. It's like they jumped straight into this. They missed the whole middle. How did we get here? It's just suddenly we're here. And even the setup in Spider-Man No Way Home isn't enough. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Gonzo?
Not really. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's pretty,
Yeah. So, Alone is back on air of the new season, which is the survival one where they drop people off and they have to film themselves and stay alive for as long as possible, blah, blah, blah. And then, if they're whatever. And so I'm watching it, and I'm enjoying it. I like it because I get to see really cool country, and, even though it is amateur photography type stuff, it's still cool. And I like seeing how people, survive and do stuff, and then see people fuck up royally. Watching it first episode, and this guy's like, oh, my father was one of the greatest survivalists in the world, and I'm trying to live in his footsteps and become all this other stuff, and I'm like, you're going to fuck up. And one of the first scenes of him is drinking straight from a stream.
No.
I'm like, as soon as he did that, I was like,
things you can do, but it's not a great idea.
I was like, you have the ability to scoop this water out and boil it. It's not like he had a fire. I'm just like,
you should definitely boil that shit.
I'm like, what?
I mean,
That's like the
it's
first.
It's not like it's standing
no-nos.
water, so it's okay. But there could be better.
Well, the next episode, he had diarrhea, upset stomach, was throwing up constantly, and I'm like, yep, you probably got Giardia or something, or E. coli.
Fuck, I call that a day in the week. I mean,
Yeah.
That happens to me pretty frequently, unfortunately.
But he had to call himself out.
Smart play. Smart play.
Yeah, because that could be a lot of problems.
Again, like we said earlier, remember, failure is an option.
Yep. Then another person had got called out. They called themselves out because they just couldn't survive. They were like, I can't get food. I can't get, I just can't.
I thought I was ready. I'm not ready. They're just
having a lot of problems.
That's important self-knowledge.
Yeah. But I mean, there are some people that just were fishing for 4 days straight and still couldn't get a fish or whatever.
Remember what the wise man said? You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Know when to walk away, know when to run.
Yeah. But I mean, it's entertaining to me because I mean, I learned stuff like certain animals are, they couldn't hunt them because they're either endangered or they're protected species, and like this one guy had a snare trap and it captured an animal that they're not allowed to eat or kill. So he's like, fucking A, I've got to let this animal. And of course, he's trying to release the animal, and the animal's just attacking him. It's like some mink type animal, and it was just going after him.
See, remember, that whole family of animals, they're fucking violent.
Oh, yeah.
In the wild, ferrets and minks and all those fucking things eat like, what, twice their body weight in meat every day?
And can take down huge prey.
Though, like, we've tamed certain ferrets. Just remember, those things are fucking violent.
Yeah. But
the whole weasel family. Don't fuck with them.
But I mean, it's like I said, it's been very enjoyable, very fun. I like it. I'll keep watching it. No problem with Marie. Mizzy?
I watched more Warrior,
Okay.
and I finished season 1.
I'm jealous.
And
I can't because
I got up to started episode 3, I think.
What?
It's really good. I'm enjoying it. Lots of violence. Love it.
Like the
Story's great.
fight choreography in that series is
Phenomenal.
chef's kiss.
Yes.
Someone told me on Twitter that like season 3 started off. It was like the fight choreography just jumps in immediately like mwah. Like yeah, it's so good. But Marath John canceled his Max subscription, so I no longer have access. So I'll have to find a way to get access.
Well, I know
I'll
that.
buy it
Other avenues.
Yeah, fine. I'll probably get it and then just binge through a bunch of stuff and then cancel it like people do.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed that season, and we got the next one coming up pretty soon, so I can't wait for that.
Well, season 3's out. Season 3's out.
Is it already
It
out?
started. Yeah, it started.
Shit, I might have to get on that.
That's
then.
why he mentioned it on Twitter. He's one of my action movie guys. He tells me. I wish it was on Hi-Ya. I want to get Hi-Ya. It's a streaming series where they got a lot of martial arts movies. Like, not super expensive. Really on my list of maybe look at. I need to watch more movies.
Well, I mean, I'll have to put that. I'll have to watch that tomorrow then. Because I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great series.
Andrew Koji, I think his name is.
Yes.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like, he was in Bullet Train and Snake Eyes. He was Silver Shadow with Snake Eyes. And good. Actually, I feel like I wish he would have been Snake Eyes. He was a way better
Oh, yeah.
lead than the lead was. Not that the lead was terrible, but I feel like he would have been so much better. I know what he
He
can do.
shined in that.
Yes.
So, John?
I mean, I'm going to have a lot of words about Raiders of the Lost Ark if you let me go. You may not get anything else.
That's fine, because the other
Okay.
ones are just small.
I went to the theater and saw Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny today. And the capsule part is, it feels like an Indiana Jones movie.
Good.
But it feels like a modern Indiana Jones movie, so it has a lot of the same flaws as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Okay.
In that people will look at it and say, oh shit, that's a little crazy. Like, aliens in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. People go like, oh my god, aliens, that's fucking crazy. Fuck's sake, the Ark of the Covenant melts people's faces off in the first movie. Let's just manage our words of crazy, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It is no more crazy than any other installment in the series. The only real flaws is that it relies too much on CGI sometimes.
Oh, did they?
I mean, well, they have to. Fucking Harrison Ford's slightly old.
I know, but I mean, that was the one great thing about the Indiana Jones movies. It was
No, they did
green screen?
CGI, but they never did a ton of it. Like
Correct.
the Temple of Doom, second movie, the whole, Through the Mines was CGI, but that had to be.
No,
They
the
used
Mines
it-
was puppeteered.
They did a lot of CGI, trust me.
No. I remember they
Yeah.
did a lot of
There's
CGI,
some
a lot
scene-
of puppeteer on it.
There's some scenes you can tell because it's a dated movie.
Yeah.
Fucking 86.
But I mean, for the most part, the really cool part about the Indiana Jones movies is the stunts were all done right there. If they wanted a car to flip, they flipped a car. They didn't do CGI car flipping. They just flipped a fucking car.
And it wasn't, the CGI wasn't as bad as King of the Crystal Skull. Because King of the Crystal Skull, there's a couple scenes just like, oh, fuck my life. I always think back, the first thing I think of when I hear that movie is I think of fucking swinging through vines with monkeys, some like CGI extravaganza of shit. And I don't hate that movie. Let's not, I'll give you my whole Indiana Jones rating at the end. But there's some of that, though the opener is younger Indy with just like someone else playing Indy, Harrison Ford dubbing it, and then they're using computer to make it look like Indy.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I didn't see any super flaws in that.
Okay.
Granted, I'm not looking, and here's the thing is, if you're looking, then you're not invested in the movie, and you have a problem beyond that. I was invested enough that I wasn't looking for any flaws in how he looked. It was good. I enjoyed it. People have said that the female lead in it is one of the most unlikable characters in movies. Dude, you're a fucking chauvinist. Go fuck yourself. She was fine. She's playing the character she was supposed to play. I thought she did a good job. I mean, you've got Mads Mikkelsen as the bad guy. Great. Mads Mikkelsen's always great.
Yeah.
The one bad guy from Logan, I forget his name, but he was one of the bad guys too, one of the henchmen. He was good, enjoyable, little much at points, but nothing. Like every time I was like, well, that was a little weird. I go, no, that's on point for this type of movie. And the problem is that we have so few of this type of movie to compare it against. Yes, there's a hierarchy of competency being the hero, the villain and his goons, and everyone else is fucking incompetent. That's just how those movies go. Cops don't necessarily react how cops supposed to react because it needs to serve the needs of the movie. Now, this does a good job where people aren't super incompetent, but it's the standard thing. Hero, villain and goons, everyone else.
Wait. Quick question. Did he punch Nazis?
Fuck yeah. Punch the hell out of some Nazis.
Fuck yeah.
And that was one of the things I said where people were like, oh, I can't believe Nazis again. That's the Indiana Jones villain.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you can say, before this there were 4 movies, 2 Nazis, random, and Russians. Well, Nazis is just kind of on point.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a problem with being Nazis, you may be a Nazi. Look at yourself in the mirror and see, am I a fucking Nazi? If so, hey, punch yourself. Save me the trouble. I had no problem with that. Actually, I felt like it was interesting. And the whole end of the story where the whole thing kind of pays off, it's a brief sentence where they tell you, oh gosh, this. And I felt like they could have done more with it. It's not top tier, but it's solid. I feel like they could have more, because, at one point someone's like, you're a grave robber. I'm like, no, Indiana Jones is the opposite of a fucking grave robber. Like, he's the epitome of, it belongs in a museum. That's a major point for him. That was handled in movie 3, by the way, if anyone's wondering. Which has the best opening because River Phoenix, rest in peace, River Phoenix. That whole opening, great.
Oh, yeah. It was really cool to see that.
In fact, if I go openings, that one's the best. Raiders is great. And then this one's third, followed by Temple of Doom. And Temple of Doom only because it goes directly into the movie. It's not tangentially rated. It is literally cold open in the movie. And that musical number at the beginning is a little off-kilter, but it's cool. And then Kingdoms of the Skull, which I'm going to stay here, is the worst Disney movie. We know this. It's still not bad. It just has too many flaws to overlook. Dusty has, it's got John Rhys Davies in it. It's got Karen Allen in it. It handles all the things. And that's one thing Indiana Jones has done well, is they've handled what happened before. There are some callbacks in this, but it's not like, oh, look at this cool, we're going to, really make it apparent. No, he just calls back. Like, there's one point where he's lamenting on being old. It's like, you didn't have to drink the Glen of Cali. You didn't fucking get shot 9 times, and, and all this stuff. The callbacks are well done. And in general, it's a good movie. It's just that they started off with Raiders of the Lost Ark. How do you fucking go up from there?
Yeah.
It's like fantasy movies trying to compete with Lord of the Rings. Sorry, you fucking can't.
Nope.
I am impressed that some of the movies that have come out with that National Treasure, fucking The Mummy, Mummy Returns, that have done as well as they did when they're fucking competing with Raiders of the fucking Lost Ark.
Yeah. You
can't compete with that. I would firmly rate this as the 4th best Indiana Jones movie, but that's not really damnable by any stretch. When you're talking about, literally, with the
standard
exception
being so high.
of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which is the worst. They're in order. Raiders, Temple, Last Crusade. If you want to know why I don't like Last Crusade more than Raiders or than Temple, I'll do that at some point. Then Dial Destiny, then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is 2. It's a 2 space herpy movie. Nothing wrong with that. It's enjoyable. It just has some flaws. Ford Fitch says overall the movie wasn't bad. It was fun. It could have done more with it. There are a few problems, but it's still good despite that. Yes, but that's more of our expectations of it. For we would have liked them to have done things that I think would have been better for us, but not for the average movie-going audience. They explain everything. There's no like, oh, why this, and this. No, they explain it. It's good. So I'm going to give it. I'm feeling generous, so I'm going to call it 1 space herpy. Could be 1.5, 1-ish. We'll say 1. 1 if you're wondering. Last Crusade and Temple of Doom are half, and Raiders is obviously a 0. But, and I will say, don't at me at this. The Raiders March is the best fucking soundtrack music ever. All due respect to whatever else John Williams has done, sure, Duel of the Fates is awesome. Not the fucking same. Does not bring out that fucking appropriate for the movie feelings as well. It's a great piece. You can use it for multiple things. Raiders of the Lost Ark is made for this type of movie and is fucking perfect. I literally had to pee so bad, but I stayed to the Raiders March, the fucking end credits, because the Raiders fucking March in the theater, it's the last time I'm going to hear it like that unless I go see when they release another Raiders movie. But in general, it's the last time, and it was fucking worth it.
It's so iconic, too. You hear that music, you immediately know.
And it's just perfect. Like people love the Imperial March. Yeah, it's good. It's not the same. Sorry. It just doesn't hit the same. It does well. And like John Williams is fucking master. The master. If he does not go down as the greatest, composer of soundtracks ever, fucking I can't wait to see what the fucking successor does, because that'd be some shit. Because he is the absolute master. Michael Giacchino, great, but still playing second fiddle. What can I say? Told you to take up all the time.
That's fine. That's the purpose
That's all right.
of it. I mean, I always have my list of here that I keep, and then I just re-up the list.
I will say, even though I don't necessarily enjoy the seats at the theater, worth it.
All right, guys. That is actually our episode. It is now 8:30.
John's double drunk.
John's double drunk. And everything.
It's empty.
It's empty. It's gone. It's gone.
You have finished your juice box.
We will send you off. You finished your juice box.
Well played. Well played. The hat would be off, but it's already off.
We're going to send y'all off to Aggie Law Girl. They are doing some MechWarrior Online. Give her a good shout out. And say, hey.
AC-20 some motherfuckers.
And make sure you say hi to her. And follow if you haven't.
She's good peeps.
Good peeps.
Super fun. And she's got a puppers.
Puppers!
Use the channel points. Make their feed the puppers treats. So many times a stream because she doesn't want her puppers to get fat, which is smart. But puppers.
Yeah.
But puppers. Serotonin. Happy chemicals.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys. We're going to send you off. Make sure, like it says, if you see something, say something.
Say something.
If you can do something, do something. If you can't, find somebody that will. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Captain Mizzy.
Good night.
Bunch of fucking Nazi.
So I can get this raid going. Can't click buttons. Save my life.
And I'm the fucking drunk one.
But you're not the weird one.
Fair. I mean, it's odd that I'm not the weird one, but fair.
I mean, it's Gonzo.
I mean, yes. To be fair, Xander would sober John punches Nazis.
That's just John.